Hello. Hello, everybody. So happy you're here. This is Kisha with Crafty Sweet, and I'm using a new stamp set. This stamp set is currently in our annual catalog and will be carrying over to the new annual catalog. And I'm so excited because I think this stamp set is just perfect, not just for kids, because the card that I'm going to do today can be given to, young or old. But I love the sentiments in this set, and I think they're perfect for gift giving cards, like gift card holders, just something to brighten somebody's day if they've done something. And so that's kind of how the card that I'm gonna make for you today, how it's designed. I'm going to show you two that I've made already, one more feminine and one more masculine. And then today I'm going to use Pacific Point. And I'm going to use this wood grain designer series paper. And this is out of the 6x6 designer series pack. This is out of the Brights collection. But these two right here are from the In Colors In Color collection. So these are In Colors 2020 to 2022. So that's Magenta Madness and Misty Moonlight. So I'm going to take it back to our normal color family. So this is, again, the Brights collection. So let's jump into it. We're going to be doing some heat embossing. Heat embossing is one of my favorite techniques still to this day. I love seeing the embossing powder melt on the cardstock. I think it's so cool. All right, let's start off by cutting our card base. Down a little bit. Let me put that. Okay, so I'm bringing out my stamping trimmer, and I'm going to cut this to 5.5. Whoops. Yeah, 5.5. And then we are going to store it at 4.25. The stamping trimmer is great. It has your cutting blade and your scoring blade all in one. All right, so that's our card base. Now I'm going to cut the designer series paper, and I want this to be, let's see, cut down. Let's see, I'm going to do a 1-inch strip. Nope, I want it this way. 1-inch strip. I guess it really doesn't matter, but that's how I wanted it. I want the wood grain to be going horizontally. Okay, let's cut this down to 5. So it'll be 1 by 5. Okay, and then now I'm going to take another piece of Pacific Point, and I want this cut down to, let's see, let's do 3 3/4 by 5. And this is going to be our second layer on the card that we're going to actually do our stamping on. All right, so I'm going to take the So Proud of You sentiment out of this set, and I'm going to stamp that as my background using tone on tone. So I'm going to use my Pacific Point ink. Let's bring in a piece of scrap, because I'm going to be stamping off of this this first layer. Okay, and this is a red rubber stamp, so I don't need my Pierce mat for cushion, because I'm going to just use this. And it doesn't matter, you don't have to get it all in a straight line. I'm just trying to fill in the words to have a background. And so if you can see what I'm doing, I'm just kind of switching up how I'm doing it. So I did it in a straight line, and then the second row I kind of did it offset. Hopefully that makes sense. I think y'all see what I'm talking about. Just to kind of, you know, fill it in a little bit. So cute. You can mass produce these cards. Y'all know I like cards that are that you can easily reproduce. And I think this card will be great for anything you want to congratulate somebody for. Okay, believe it or not, that is all of the stamping that we're going to do on the background. Now, I'm going to bring in a label. And I cut this label using the Tasteful Label dies, another one of my favorites. It is carrying over to the new catalog. But I used, you can see right here, I used this label. And I die cut that with basic black cardstock. So this is where we're going to do our embossing. So I'm bringing in my embossing buddy just to get some, you know, powder on that, so the powder won't get stuck. Only where I'm stamping. All right. So now I'm bringing in my Versamark ink. When you're embossing, you need to use your Versamark ink, because the powder is going to stick to this stamp. Okay, so I'm just gonna center this on the cardstock just like that, and I'm gonna emboss in white. And I don't like the way that one looks. Let's flip it over. Embossing buddy again. You got two sides to your cardstock. So, all right, let me make sure. I'm trying not to put my head in the camera, y'all. Let's see. I think that's a little bit better. Yep. Okay, put that to the side. Now, I'm bringing in my white embossing powder. And I'm just going to take my label with the congratulations on it. You can see how that's stamped in Versamark. And then when I add the embossing powder to it, it's going to be white. Okay. Let's get a little more powder on there. I like to thump it in the back to get that off. Okay, I think that looks good. Let's close this up. And then now I'm going to bring out my heat tool. All right, and I'm going to bring this just to hold it. Oh, hold up. I think my paper piercer went in. Let's dump it again. Okay. Perfect. All right, close that up. And I'm going to bring in, as I said before, my heat tool. So this is the Stampin' Up! Heat tool. Let's put our lid on the Versamark. And I'm going to bring in, hold on. I'm going to bring in this just to hold this down. And you'll see as this is going to be a little noisy. Hopefully it's going to be okay. But I'm just going to use my paper piercer. I can actually use my Take Your Pick tool because I have it handy today. I'm going to turn on my heat tool, and it has two different settings. I'm going to put it on 2. It's going to heat it up, and you'll see the embossing powder start to melt. And it's going to make the congratulations even more white. You can see it's starting to melt and it's changing colors. It's getting more defined, the white. All right, looks good. All right, so let's bring that up closer so you can see. So you see that it's kind of shiny a little bit. That embossing powder has melted, and that's exactly what we want. Okay, so let's move this out of the way. Now, let's go ahead and layer up our card. Where's my bone folder? Right here. So I'm going to crease my my card base. And I want to, let's see, let's go ahead and add this piece. Before we add this 1x5 strip, I'm bringing in the lovely Labels Pick-a-Punch. And I am going to, let's see, I think I'm going to use this one, this side. I'm just going to slide this into my punch. And it looks good on the back. And I'm going to punch both ends. Just like this. This punch is will be carrying over as well. And you can use, I use the 1 inch, but you can use a 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch. So 3 sizes, and whatever length you want to, just punch both ends. And the same thing for this one. So this punch is a really good punch to have because you got 2 different ends and 3 sizes for each label. All right, let's go ahead and throw that away. All right, now I am going to do, I think I'm going to do straight adhesive on this. I'm not going to pop this label up because I'm going to pop the sentiment up. So I'm just going to put this, let's see, like here. I think that looks good. And now I'm going to add dimensionals to the back of this. Use all of your corners. Whatever you have. It works. All right, let's do this little strip right there. And then I can put one here. I'm using it all. Okay, and I'll save this for my label. Just like that. Alright, now I'm going to peel my back ends off. And you'll see, or notice in the sample, the Magenta Madness sample, I added some white twine and some of the Well of a Time sequence to that one. But this one, I think I want to keep it more masculine, so I'm not going to add any sequins to this one, nor the baker's twine. These will be nice to just have on hand. Okay, so I'm going to layer this on my card base, making sure it's even all the way around. And I'm going to take my back end off of the label, and I'm going to put the congratulations like right there. And then on the inside, I have a piece of 3 3/4 by 5. Because this is a darker color card base, I'm going to put a white layer on the inside for the greeting. Let's make sure this is centered all the way around. Looks good. All right. And of course, I normally stamp on the back. Let me bring in the sample. I use this punch to punch the back, and I normally just sign my name. So these cards I will actually have on hand. I think they're really good. You can pull them out of your stash if you want to congratulate somebody for anything. So as I was saying earlier about or just a minute ago about the Well of a Time sequins, you can see the sequins that I've added to the Magenta Madness color, and I just simply took my Take Your Pick tool and pulled out some. This is actually not Magenta Madness color in here. It's Flirty Flamingo, but it pairs well with that Magenta Madness, and so do the other colors. So we have Flirty Flamingo, Just Jade, Pacific Point, and Pool Party colors in here, but they pair well with our other colors. Like coordination, Stampin' Up! And coordination goes together perfectly. And then I added the white baker's twine to this one, and then of course I like to curl the ends of the baker's twine. And again, I added the white layer on the inside, and then I stamped the back of the card on all 3 of these. Okay, so just something quick, a quick card if you want to congratulate somebody. This stamp set, A Grand Kid, is a great one to have. And if you're interested in any of the products that I've used today, the Lovely Labels Pick-a-Punch, the Well of a Time sequins that I used on a sample card is actually retiring. And a Grand Kid stamp set is carrying over. You can find all of that in my online store, craftysweet.stampinup.net. And then this is the host code for April that I would love for you to use if your purchase is less than $150, and you'll receive a gift from me, of course. If your order is over $150, don't use a host code. You'll get your own Stampin' Rewards based on the amount of your purchase, and you'll still receive a gift from me. And please, if you're not quite sure that that you're shopping with me, it should say Stampin' Up! Demonstrator Kisha Davis. If you don't see that anywhere, or if it starts off you're shopping with me and then it changes, please email me and let me know so we can get that straightened, because I would love your support, but then I also want to make sure that I'm sending my gifts out to people that are ordering from me. Okay, so thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next video. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.